Hey, I'm Vlad with GlobMarble, and I'm going to show you how to stamp the SM8000 Cobblestone stamp mats. But instead of stamping it on a fresh slab of concrete, I'm going to be stamping it on an overlay called SureStamp. I'm just going to be stamping this on a piece of plywood just for demonstration purposes. But if you're doing this on existing concrete, prep work is very important. You really want to make sure that the overlay has a good bond and grip onto the existing concrete. The first thing you'd want to do is grind the surface of your concrete just to expose the pores of that concrete and to remove any contaminants like oils or anything that's going to prevent the bond between the overlay and the concrete. Then you'd go ahead and mix up a product called SureBond, lay it onto the concrete with a squeegee, and put the stamp mix on top of that. If you're doing it on plywood, however, you want to staple metal mesh onto the plywood to make sure there's a bond. I'm going to skip all of that because this is just a sample piece. It's not going to get any foot traffic whatsoever, so I can get away with it.
The next thing I want to talk to you about is the primary coloring system we're going to use, which is integral pigments. The SureStamp overlay system is a white material, meaning that you're going to have a lot of different color ranges that you could reach compared to other similar products. Like I said, the color packs are integral. They're going to go and color the concrete completely. It's not a topical color. You could get really creative with the colors that you use. I want to go for more of like an earthy brown tone, so I'm going to go with the antique white. The color packs are dosed 1 bag of color pack per 1 bag of SureStamp. So the first thing I like to add is the water to the bottom of the bucket. That makes sure everything's going to get all mixed up very nicely, a lot easier than if you were to try to mix the dry materials first. The water demand is on the back of the bucket. I'm using the minimum amount of water demand that the bucket says to use, and also I'm adding the color packs into the water first, just because that's going to make the mixing time a lot quicker, and you're not going to see too much streaks of pigment in there if it's pre-mixed into the water. So 2 bags of color pack for 2 bags of SureStamp. Pre-mix it. And just like with any other concrete, it's a lot easier to mix the dry mix in batches and parts. So I'm only going to mix in 1 bag. And after I'm done mixing this one, I'm going to add my second one. Now let's go ahead and hit the edges and sides of that bucket, because you see we've got a lot of unmixed material on the edges and sides. We got to get all that unmixed, unpigmented material incorporated nice and wet. Now before we start applying this to the floor, I haven't talked to you guys about how thick the actual overlay should go on. And this all depends on the stamped concrete mat that you're using. The thickness of the SureStamp overlay is always going to be a little bit more than the lowest part of your mold to the highest point of your mold, which is usually going to be the grout lines. For this mold, it's about 1/4 inch. For thicker molds where the distance between the high and low points are thicker, you're going to obviously need to get a thicker coat on there. Now, how we get our overlay to that thickness is with a gauge rake. The gauge rake has little adjustable sleds that you can move up and down on both sides to make sure you get an even thickness everywhere. Now once we've got it generally at the same thickness, let's go ahead and smooth everything out, make everything look very pretty. Now, knowing when to start stamping this concrete is a little tricky because it's not always the same. It all depends on the environment you're in. How hot is it outside? Is the sun directly beaming down onto the concrete, or are you indoors? If it's hotter, it's going to set up a lot quicker, and if it's colder, you're going to have a little bit more work time. So instead, how you test it is by touching it. If it's still plastic and malleable but nothing gets left on your finger, you're good. Now, even though that concrete didn't stick to our finger, the last thing we could possibly want is it sticking to the stamp mat and lifting it up. And the best way of preventing that is by using a release agent. We have a bunch of powder release options which give you a secondary pigment, but that's a little bit too messy to be using indoors. Instead, I'm going to be going with the GSR liquid stamp release agent inside of a pump sprayer.
Instead of using a regular sprayer where you have to constantly keep pulling the trigger to get the water to squirt out, this gets pumped up, you hold down the trigger, and it shoots a continuous stream. So first thing you want to do is you want to spray the release agent onto the stamp. Also, you want to cover it onto your overlay. If you start noticing that the release agent is kind of like wearing off on the stamp, you could always apply a little bit more. Applying too much of this stuff isn't really an issue. The issue begins when you start running out of that release agent instead, and things start sticking. Let's start off by placing our first stamped concrete mat. And I'm just going to go ahead and start walking on it. Trying to get that imprint in, especially around the edges. The concrete's still a little bit soft, so I could get away with just walking on it, but if you feel that the concrete's starting to get away from you a little bit, a good tool to use is a concrete tamper. I don't need it right now, so I think just my feet are going to be fine. Let's go ahead and place down our second mat, making sure that everything interlocks between the joints. And again, place it down, lock it between those two joints. Beautiful. And you notice that the stamp mats are different colors, and there's a reason for that. It's not just to look pretty. This one is /1, /2, /3. And the difference between them is they were all made out of the same type of stone, but they were made from different stones themselves. So like, for instance, let's say you only buy a bunch of red stamps. You place them all over the place, and it's going to look like you just copy pasted the same stones over and over and over again. Using these 3 different variations gives it a bit of like variety, and it's not going to throw itself in front of your eyes and make it look like it's fake. And here comes our first issue. It's this little area right there. I don't have a lot of space in this little YouTube studio that I have, and there's no way that I could fit a stamp mat right over there. So what do we do now? In fact, you're most likely gonna come up to the same problem. What are you gonna do when you hit up against a wall or something like that? And the solution is one of our flexible mats. These are all included inside of our sets, but you could buy them separately also if you feel like you want to have a few more of them. With that dilemma off our hands, let's go ahead and keep stamping. Now I don't want to remove this last stamp just yet, as it's a platform to stand on, and I have a few things to do with my touch-up wheel. For instance, you can see between this stamp and this stamp there was a little bit of concrete pinched up, and it gave me this effect. I want to get rid of it, so I'm going to carefully hit it with the touch-up wheel. And now it looks great. Also, I'm noticing another thing. I think I put too little amount of material on here because the grout line didn't get stamped all the way through, but again, that's not a problem. We make our own grout line. Same over here. Now the concrete completely dried, but if we want to put any type of stain or any type of sealer, which we do want to do, we're going to have to wash that release agent off. The best way to do it was with the SCR Concrete Degreaser. This stuff is pretty powerful, so I'm going to dilute it 4 parts water to 1 part SCR. And a quick pro tip, you want to add the SCR into the water instead of spraying water into the SCR, because you see how bubbly it got when I shook it just now. Putting the water in with a hose or something like that is going to create so many bubbles, it's going to get a little bit difficult to measure exactly where you're pouring it, so pouring the SCR into the water is a little easier. And you never want to put SCR directly onto dry concrete. That's going to cause discoloration, that's going to cause stains, and you can see why we have to wash it with the SCR. the concrete isn't fully getting absorbed like it is over here. In most places, the water's pooling up because of that oil surface. It's not letting any water or any potential stain or sealer to seep into the concrete pores and surface. So keep it wet, keep it moving, and scrub that SCR into the surface. If you see the SCR start drying up anywhere, you could just go ahead and hit it with the hose again to make sure that it stays wet. And then once you're done, you just go ahead and wash it off with the hose.
Now this is dry, but it looks a bit boring. I want to add a secondary color, a little stain. I'm going to be using EcoStain. So this is a water-based concentrate. You dilute it 3 parts water to 1 part stain to get the color you see on the color chart. But if you want it lighter, you can always add more water. If you want it darker, you could add less. So the easiest way to apply the stain is with a pump sprayer. I sprayed it, I pumped it up full of air. I don't have to keep hitting the nozzle, the trigger over and over again to get the liquid to come out. And you can see exactly how this is working. It's not painting the concrete per se, but it's letting the high points be a nice light shade, but then the deep points and the grooves between the stones is getting a little bit darker, so it's giving it this nice accenting type of look to it. And this is a water-based stain, so if I do mess up, if I don't like something that I did, I could always wash this off with water or manipulate it with water to a way that I'm gonna like. And the way that it looks while it's wet is going to be the final product. When it dries out, this is going to become much less vivid, much less vibrant, but you got to remember we're going to be putting a sealer on top of this, so it's going to look just like how it's looking right now. And by the way, I think I forgot to mention, the color I'm using right now is called Kayak. So far I like the way that this looks. Let's wait for this to dry out. And I think I'm going to add a secondary color once this is dry. So now what I'm going to do, I was the one stamping it, so I remember where the stamps were. You see how the pattern, the stamp pattern, it ends right here. I'm just going to be painting in the very top row and then moving on to the next one. So top row, top row, top row. The stain I'm going to be using is Espresso, but I wanted it to be much darker, so it's only a 1 part stain, 1 part water dilution ratio. So now it dried, and the last thing we could do is put on a sealer. The sealer is going to do a couple of things, one of them being it's going to make the colors pop a lot more, it's going to look very vibrant, beautiful, but the most important is it's going to give this scratch resistance and protect it from all types of abrasions. On top of that, HS200 is our acrylic sealer, which means it's going to be helping with UV stability, and this stuff is not going to yellow over time while being in direct sunlight. The thing I like the most about the HS200 is that it's a single component sealer, so you don't have to mix any part A, part B. You just roll it, spill it out of the bucket, and roll it onto the concrete. You could roll it, you could spray it. I'm going to choose to roll it today. And at the end, this is what you can end up with on your driveway, on your patio, on any concrete surface that you want to remodel, redecorate. I think it turned out really cool, but I want to know what you guys think. So you've made it to the end of my video, but now I want to ask you for a quick favor. See, the YouTube algorithm gets tricked into showing my video to a lot more people if a lot of people comment on it. So criticize me, praise me, or just ask a question. As long as you leave a comment, I'm going to appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.